So I'm the only justice around, apparently. The only person that can't be bought off. The only person who doesn't give a fuck about money. Guess what, folks? When you die, when you're 6 feet under, money matters not. Doesn't mean shit. Okay? The person you are, the character you have, that's the only thing that matters. Were you a good person? Were you an honest person? But of course, that message has gotten lost in this day and age. You see what's happened to the society in the West. It's been broken down, torn down, engineered by design. And you all know why. I can't talk about it here. You all know who's behind it. You see what's going on every day. Engineered to destroy Western civilization, Western culture, white European civilization. It's been designed to do that, to get that force out of the way, the force that's accomplished so many great things throughout world history, has lifted up the world by the bootstraps, lifted the world out of the caves and the jungles. That force is seen as a threat to the criminal mafia, because that force has always exposed the criminal mafia throughout history. They want to get that force out of the way. That criminal mafia does not fear minorities. They laugh at minorities. They're actually very supremacist, and they make fun of minorities behind the scenes. That's all another topic of discussion. I can't get into that here, as you all know, because you know who runs ScamTube. I'm enjoying my life probably more than anybody on YouTube. I can tell you that right now. That's why I retired early, right? To focus on life. And made the best decision of my life many years ago to leave the West because I saw what was going on. And now I look like a fucking genius. A fucking genius. Okay? I saw all this stuff. And it's gotten exponentially worse. And meanwhile, you've got all these people, probably including the audience, living in the West and dying to get the fuck out. Dying to get the hell out of the West. But many people are stuck. Anyway, before we begin this discussion, I'm going to show you the channel. This is the Iced Coffee Hour. Iced Coffee Hour. Graham Stephan. Now, you might remember Graham Stephan. I've exposed this twerp a long time ago. And it's kind of funny. Don't you think it's funny with all the YouTube detectives out there? You know, the guys that pretend that they're uncovering things, but they're not, because they're actually selling advertisements for scammers. They're just pretending to do so. You understand what's going on, right? You know, the guys with half a brain is all they have, and they think that they're experts. Fucking clowns. I saw this video. I'll probably go over this in the future. It's just funny. Scott Schaefer was in some video about like the gold people paying off for the ads and the sponsorships, and I'm thinking, like, Scott, dude, I covered this shit 15 years ago. I'm probably the world's foremost authority on that whole industry. You don't even know how deep the rabbit hole goes, buddy. And I saw he's talking about how, well, they don't show the prices of their coins. That's bad. I mean, this fucking clown. He's such a clown. Anyway, he has no fucking idea. But, you know, anything for a buck, right? As long as it gets views. So take a look at this. This is well, let me refresh your memory. Do you remember this? Of course, we've got what do we have here? This is the channel, and if you haven't seen these videos, I mean, Jesus, this library is priceless. The education you can receive, the free education just from my criticism and exposure of these fraudsters and con artists is priceless. You will learn more about the capital markets, the investment world, just by watching these videos criticizing these scammers than anything on YouTube. And I'm not even trying. So you remember this video, hopefully you've seen it. Graham Stephan and FTX evidence tampering. This is the guy, Graham Stephan. Here's the guy who spliced out his FTX endorsement. after the collapse to try and hide from the authorities. That's illegal. You can't do that. You're being investigated, Graham. FTX is still under investigation by the SEC for being unregistered securities. So people involved with that, the case is not settled. There's still an investigation, including perhaps the state of Nevada, where Graham lives, I believe. You cannot tamper with evidence prior to or during an investigation. Stephan, he's broken the law. He's broken the Nevada state law, because I looked it up, and he's broken federal law. But of course, the vast majority of people on ScamTube who have channels that monetize have been breaking the Federal Trade Commission disclosure law for years, which I pointed out many years ago. They don't post proper affiliate disclosure. They're all breaking federal law. That's right. You can tell them they're breaking the federal fucking law. And once again, folks, when you look at my credentials, everything in summation, even going back to my investment research track record, which is probably the best in the world. I believe it's the best. I don't know of anyone that comes close. I think that I've earned the right to be trusted for my judgment and my accuracy until proven otherwise. In other words, the default when you hear something from me is you better damn fucking believe it. Now, we're talking about my research. I don't talk about that on YouTube. That's a different story. That's nobody has a crystal ball. But when you're talking about things like this, right, exposing scammers and deciphering motivations and intricacies of scams, right? I've earned the right by default due to my credibility and experience to be assumed correct, okay? Until proven otherwise. Show me I'm wrong, right? Whatever the case may be, on anything, show me, okay? So let's listen here.
So of course, the obvious question then becomes, but Graham, how do we know if it's a bull market or just a bear market rally? And why didn't you tell me that I could get all the way up to $100 just for signing up with FTX US down below in the description with the code Graham? And that's a great question that I asked myself. So while we're on the topic of crypto, if you're looking for a place to buy, sell, track, or trade both crypto and NFTs all in one place with fees that are up to 85% lower than the top competitors, then FTX US is there to help. They're trusted by millions of users, and what I like the most about them is that they allow you to set up an automatic recurring buy so that you can dollar cost average into the markets on a regular basis. So if you're interested, the link is down below in the description with the code Graham, and you could get all the way up to $100 for signing up depending on how much you trade. Enjoy, and now let's get back to the video.
You can check the current video and see he removed that. See, but I saved the older video before he spliced it out. Take a look. Check it for yourself right now, folks. Go on, check it.
And why didn't you tell me that I could get all the way up to $100 just for signing up with FTX US down below in the description with the code Graham? And that's a great question that I asked myself. So while we're on the topic of crypto, if you're looking for a place to buy, sell, track, or trade both crypto and NFTs all in one place with fees that are up to 85% lower than the top competitors, then FTX US is there to help. They're trusted by millions of users, and what I like the most about them is that they allow you to set up an automatic recurring buy so that you can dollar cost average.
Take a look at this clip now. This is the current video he has on there. He changed it. I checked it.
So of course, the obvious question then becomes, but Graham, how do we know if it's a bull market or just a bear market rally? But I digress. In terms of starting a brand new bull bear market rally, but I digress. In terms of bear market rally, but I digress. In terms of bear market rally, but I digress. In terms of bear market rally, but I digress. In terms.
You see that? See where he clipped that out? You can check the current video now on his site, where he clipped out the part about FTX. What a fraud. What an absolute fraud. Take a look, folks. So this is the person that you're dealing with here. Folks, this is not just Graham. This is everybody on YouTube.
So of course, the obvious question then becomes, but Graham, how do we know if it's a bull market or just a bear market rally? And why didn't you tell me that I could get all the way up to $100 just for signing up with FTXUS down below in the description with the code Graham? And that's a great question that I asked myself. So while we're on the topic of crypto, if you're looking for a place to buy, sell, track, or trade both...
Folks, everybody on YouTube, I'm telling you right now, they're all scammers. They're all greedy, money-worshipping pieces of trash that are going to resort to this. They don't care. In fact, I just came across information. I didn't really pay attention to this freaking idiot. Mr. Beast apparently is a fraud. I mean, I thought all his videos were fake anyway. Turns out someone's proved it. He's engaged in all types of activities that have broken federal law. That's right. I never watched the guy's videos. I just thought they're stupid. But he's been defrauding people this whole time. And I knew, I mean, come on. By the way, I think his name is Jimmy Donaldson. Notice that last name. If you don't know anything about that last name, let me just tell you, it's kind of in the same category as Graham Stephan, right? It's kind of in the same category as Kevin Pathrath, right? You understand? It's in that league, that similar ethnicity, which we won't talk about, we can't talk about, which typically you're going to see the vast majority of the scammers, well, they got one thing in common, the vast majority, okay? And that's an important fact, something that I've been documenting for 20 years. It's very important because then you're going to understand a lot of other things of what's going on. You're going to understand who gets promoted in the media, right? And in fact, if you take a look at YouTube, take a look at the big guys on YouTube. Not every single one, but a lot of the big guys in various genres. You're going to notice one thing they have in common. By the way, this guy PewDiePie, take a look at who he is. Take a look at his name. Okay? You understand what I'm saying, right? Just about every single genre, you take a close look. I've been studying this stuff, monitoring it for years. Now, this group of people is a very tiny, minuscule minority of the population. By the way, okay? Now, with that, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start on the Graham Stephan, Cathie Wood interview. We're going to cut to the chase. I'm going to come back here within 2 or 3 minutes and we're going to start it up.